Yes, you're watching the South Australian Sports Show. Time to talk about the Southern Footy League, Baz. As always, the press in to join us. Craig Warman. Craig, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good boys. How are you?
Good to see that you're still the president.
Still the president.
Even after the loss.
Be?
Well, they got hammered by Great Southern.
No, I didn't get hammered.
Well, yeah.
We got beaten.
14 goals.
What?
Or was it 4 goals? That's right.
4 goals.
It was only
4 goals. That's just you missed a dash.
Hey, it's not Port Adelaide.
I know, mate. I know.
Yeah. Come on.
Come on.
Come on, let's get to last weekend's game before you two get in a bit of a stoush. We don't want to get any of that started. No pinching. You'll get a couple of weeks for that. And no stomping, okay?
I can have a bet, though.
Well, 22 weeks for that, but you'll get 12 off with good behaviour.
Big one, yeah.
Yeah, we will talk about that a bit later in the show too. In fact, before we get to it, does that happen in the Southern Footy League? Has there been any evidence at all to suggest that there's been...
Our blokes don't get paid enough.
Don't get paid enough. So,
simple as that. But in saying that, look, how silly's that particular person?
Silly.
With all the stuff they go through, as we were talking off air, the drugs problems, the headspace stuff, all of the betting, they are inundated with that sort of information at that elite level. Why do it?
Yeah, it's a stupid thing to do.
You know what's funny though? He cops 22 weeks, but a large amount of the advertising during the footy game is sports bet.
Yeah, bet 365.
So there's a little bit of not quite sure. You know, they put a lot of money in. I think it's great, but it's hard to. And then the finish up line is gamble responsibly.
Yeah.
You know, and you go, he probably was, but he shouldn't have been. So.
Well, it should be gamble responsibly, but if you're a player, don't gamble at all. It's as simple as that, really. I mean, God.
All right, let's get on to it, mate. Noarlunga defeated Christie's. What do you make of the game?
Yeah, look, again, Christie's had an opportunity. They were in the game for probably 3/4 of the game. But again, Noarlunga, just when it counted, they've got the big man strength around the ground, and but they're sitting top for a particular reason.
And we'll slip over the next one.
No.
The Flies knock Cove off, and then there's the next one.
Yeah.
Or do we stay?
Sorry, mate. Who's your team again? Cove. You're Cove, and I'm Ranella. So now let's stick with it just for a minute.
I'm Happy Valley.
Oh, yeah. Ranella Cove. Did it surprise you, the result?
The margin did in the end, but in saying that, Ranella again at the start of the season they continue to play the kids. The kids have now had 7, 8, 9 games into a season. They're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with the systems and whatever they've got in place. And it was a good win for them.
They're just hovering around 5th spot, Ranella, at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, just like they did last year. And then come finals, boom, away they went.
Lovely.
And of course, Billy was pretty happy with the result as well.
Billy, that's the most important part.
Have you done up now with Ranella?
Oh, yeah, okay, we'll go to Happy Valley and Aldinga, mate. Aldinga got off, it was the match of the round. Aldinga got off to a flying start.
They did. Again, we're right in it up until probably 3/4 time. And then Happy Valley in the end come home with a little bit of the assistance of a breeze.
Where was that played, mate?
Down at Aldinga.
Down at Aldinga, okay.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, it was nice and cold down there. But in saying that, no, look, there are positive signs for the Aldinga Footy Club.
All right, Flagstaff Hill up against Port Noarlunga. It would have been a beauty. Flagstaff
it was.
Too strong.
And it was a big shed day down at Port Noarlunga, and you know what the shed's like when it gets a rocking. But again, Flaggies just did enough to hold them at bay and without overexerting.
Favourites. Got to be favourites.
Well, yeah, but again, in a few weeks' time, we'll get to see them play Noarlunga. And again, you don't win those particular games without being a good football team.
Yeah, now, a couple of big things, mate. The Cockle Divers have released a new ale down there. Fitzy came over from Sydney to launch it. So tell us a little bit about it.
A premiership player with Port Noarlunga back in about '97, I think it was. And then, of course, his dad was a member of the '65 premiership side, Mickey. And I've got to say, it's not a bad drop. So if you want to get into it, you can get your orders through the Port Noarlunga Footy Club.
Where do they brew it?
One of the boutique breweries at Wollonga.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure it wasn't a still out the back of someone's house.
No.
Kind of trouble there. Hey, let's get a look at this week, mate.
we give that away, mate.
I don't know how many weeks you get for that one.
Got too expensive.
Happy Valley sitting in 6th spot, up against Flagstaff Hill sitting in 2nd.
Yeah, the Battle of the Hills Valley. Look, you can't go past Flagstaff Hill.
I'll be there.
Happy Valley were good in patches against Aldinga, but overall strength of Flaggies should see them win that one.
I'll be there.
You'll be there?
I'll be down there.
Why?
It's at Happy Valley, is it not?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, I will be there.
Will that have any bearing on the outcome that Baz is
Well,
going
I
to be
think
there?
so.
Well, I would have thought he would have gone and supported his old club.
Cove, he's jumped off.
Yeah.
He jumped off. Didn't even want to talk about him today.
I live at Happy Valley.
Oh, so you're on Happy Valley now.
Well,
Can we get some clarity about who you're going for this year? Happy Valley or Cove?
Well, we'll have a look at the end of the year. And I'll let you know.
So you're a solid supporter.
Oh, solid, for sure.
Fair weather. They call them fair weather, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. Christie's Beach, Morfett Vale.
Morfett Vale had the bye. Their game before the bye was pretty reasonable. I'm expecting this to be a good one, but Christie's need to bounce back after a couple of losses against Flaggies and Noarlunga.
After looking pretty good, after looking top couple of material, didn't they?
They've and again the defeats weren't bad, but
They're defeats.
they're defeats. And if you're going to make a statement, you need to be winning these sort of
need to win
games.
that, yeah.
So I
I
would
agree.
suggest
I agree.
Christie should bounce back in that one.
This one could be a real interesting, or it could be a blowout. Noarlunga first spot, Ranella in fifth. Ranella coming off a good win. Noarlunga sitting on top of the ladder. How do you think it's going to play out?
Down at the shoe is going to be really hard.
Yeah.
But in saying that, Ranella would take a lot of confidence out of what's happened over the last couple of weeks. You'd still probably tip Noarlunga at home, but I reckon if they can keep within the 5-goal range, it'll be a really good experience for those Ranella kids.
Okay, that's an interesting one. The Cobras up against Aldinga at Cobra Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't be at that one?
I won't be at that one.
No, you won't be at that one.
You're still undecided which team. You're still going to Happy Valley to make a decision.
I'll hear the half-time score, and if they're well up, I could get down to Cobra Park. But this is a game they have to win, isn't it? Simple as that. There's no, you know.
Well, both clubs.
Both clubs.
Aldinga are
right.
looking for a win, but so are Cove. Again, they've been competitive, but not for long enough.
Yeah.
We saw them in the first game of the season. We did this game as well at Aldinga, and Aldinga it was only a goal in at half time.
Yeah.
So Aldinga, I reckon, have improved a little bit. Cove have been
Very,
like the proverbial put cork on the ocean scenario, but at home they should win.
Yeah.
Hey mate, just quickly, sometimes the ladder placings don't indicate, and I reckon Carlton are an example of that. They're actually playing really good footy without getting the win, so they are improving. Who do you reckon's been the big improver in the Southern Footy League this year without getting the wins, but have shown they've improved a lot on last year?
Oh, look, you'd certainly look at Christie's.
Yep.
They've taken that next step to be in the top 3 or 4. Aldinga, with the new coach, he's starting to make things happen down there.
So he came in late.
He did.
It's always hard when you come in late.
It is, but he's one of those blokes that knows how to push the right buttons, get players up and motivated. He's got a couple of ex Noarlunga players down there helping him at the moment. So yeah, look, Happy Valley with their brand new coach Guy Ridgway. He's continued to push the mantle of playing the kids as well. So you know, long term, when you look at the strength of the Southern Footy League, we're not doing too bad. Of course, with the advent of our association programs and our under-21s that played Kangaroo Island, when they came across, some really good talent coming through.
Craig, always good to get you into the studio, mate. Southern Footy League, it's a great brand of footy. You should get down there and support it. Stay with us. Still plenty to come on the show.